Today is a lesson that life is not completely fair, especially if you're a Chicago Bulls fan, because things cannot seem to go well for us ever. So as of literally 10 minutes ago, I was literally just about to sit down. I just finished my workouts for today. I'd finished doing some work and everything, and I get an update saying Zach Lavine is done for the year. I think maybe I won't post something about this. Maybe I'll just leave it till Monday. I really don't want to post again right now. I'm tired, but you know what? This is going to be a therapy session for me in a way, and just a way for me to clear my thoughts about what's going on with the Chicago Bulls. So obviously Lavine has been in and out this year. He's been the subject of trade rumors along with the other Bulls, like big three being like Vucevic and DeMar DeRozan. Hell, Alex Caruso's been a part of everything. Like for a team that's not very good, the Bulls are a part of like a ton of different discussions because there's a lot of valuable players on this team that could make sense elsewhere, but the Bulls kind of just screwed themselves and they can't move any of these players now, and it's really annoying. And I'm looking at like the next couple of years of being a Bulls fan, and I don't know what I'm looking forward to. This almost certainly means that Zach Lavine's not getting traded this year. I mean, why would anybody trade for him now, right? Like he's making so much money, and it's only going to go up the next couple of years. It's only going to get harder and harder and harder. This was the hardest part about trading his contract, right? Is like I think Zach Lavine is one of the best. Like I think he's a very unstoppable offensive weapon in a lot of ways. He can score from anywhere in high efficiency clips and everything. I think his off-ball defense is pretty solid. I think his playmaking is solid. Like people might disagree with me on that, but I truly think that that's where Zach Lavine is. Man, that's a lot of money for a guy that's probably a third option on a championship team. Like, he's just a dude that goes out there and he's going to get you a ton of buckets, right? You put him out there with two other all-star players, you guys probably got a championship team, right? But, like, I don't know what you do with him now. I don't know how you move on from this. Like both camps have made it very clear that they don't want to be here with each other either. So how do you move him at this point? Regardless, it's not going to be this season, right? I'm sure they'll try to trade him in the offseason or next year, something so that someone can get a full camp with him, right? They'll feel a lot better about it. But it's still going to be a tough trade to make. And then if you're the Bulls, right, like we can take a look at their roster and everything, and I can show you exactly why I'm not happy about it. So here's the numbers for the Bulls this year. Obviously, they got an aging DeMar DeRozan, right? He's 34 years old. Personally, as a Bulls fan, I think every Bulls fan would say we love DeMar, but let's trade him so that we can get something for him. We're not winning anything with DeMar right now anyway. There's been talks on both sides wanting a contract extension. That's what I hear. I don't care to have like DeMar back. Like, I mean that in a good way. Like, if we bring DeMar back, cool. I'd rather trade him and get something for him, but it's whatever. Maybe there's a sign and trade that happens at some point. I don't even know if there's a benefit to that or not. But there's no point in having him on the team at this point. I'd rather go see DeMar be happy somewhere else, right? Obviously, there's Lavine. Kobe White. I'm actually probably going to do a video on Monday talking about Kobe White and a couple other guys. Kobe White's been like really impressive. Like, his ISO moves have been like really good. He's so shifty. He's hitting from deep and everything. Like, he's got a case for most improved player this year. And again, I'll talk about that in another video. Kobe White's been good. I still like, I guess, is he our point guard now going forward? Is that my thought? Because I'm not really mentally prepared for Kobe White to be my point guard for the Bulls for the next like 6 to 7 years. So while it's cool to see that happening with Kobe and everything, I don't really know. Vucevic, same exact story as DeRozan, right? Except he's probably harder to trade because there's not as many people that need his skill set and everything. Obviously, his defense is pretty abysmal at times. His three-point shooting is inconsistent at absolute best. I don't think it's been good at all this year. 27%. Yeah, no, it's just... he's reliable though. He's always healthy. Like, he can get you near 20 points and 10 rebounds if you throw him out there long enough every game. So that's great. Caruso, most valuable asset we have, right? But they want to keep him around for culture purposes. It doesn't matter, because by the time you get players that's worth building a culture around anyway, like, he's going to leave. He's just going to leave in free agency. Like, it's just so dumb. Just trade Caruso, set him free, send him to Golden State or something. Like somebody will give us like a first round pick and like a good young player for Alex Caruso. I just know that. Patrick Williams doesn't want to shoot the basketball. It's whatever. You can tell like there's games where Patrick Williams is given the basketball and they've like talked to him before the game. They're like, you need to shoot it. And he just goes and puts up shots. Like, you can tell it's a conscious effort. Like, okay, I'm supposed to shoot the ball. I'm going to shoot the ball. So much talent in him. Love his game in a lot of ways. My God, I wish he would shoot the basketball a little more. But I mean, like, he's shooting like 40%. Yeah, 40% from three. It's awesome. He's got all the means of being a good player. But can we just move all the other players off the team so he's forced to take some shots? Desumu, this is probably the last one I'll talk about on the roster because the other ones aren't necessarily that interesting. Like, now that Desumu's being a little more aggressive, like, we're seeing the value of him again. I don't know why he like wasn't in the rotation at the beginning of the year. Really confusing. Like, I like Javon Carter. I don't know why we went and got Javon Carter though. So I don't know. There's Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips. Julian Phillips looks good in limited minutes sometimes, and Dalen Terry has his moments where he's a really good playmaker. What am I looking forward to on this team? We don't even have like all of our draft picks and everything. Like, I know we got like a pick from the Blazers at some point, and like, do we still have another pick that we have to convey to the Magic, or was the last one last year? I don't even remember. But I don't know. It's just so frustrating. Like, there's nobody on this team that's worth building around, and none of them are worth much. Like, that's why I just want to get them off the team, right? Like, I just want new things. Somebody give me some draft picks to look forward to or something. A young player that maybe develops into something, right? Like, because I just don't see Dalen Terry or Julian Phillips becoming like a stud out of nowhere. I remember when Jimmy Butler got drafted, and I'm not going to lie, I looked at him and I'm like, Jimmy Butler could be that dude. Like, if he gets some minutes one day, he could be that dude. I don't see that out of these guys. I just don't. And now I'm just sad because now, like, I know it was only like a 20% chance that Zach Lavine was going to get traded, but now there's like zero chance. He's not going to get traded this year. I find it so hard to watch Bulls games too. The energy is so low. They play crappy defense and everything. It's not the Bulls teams that I grew up with. I miss the Jakeem Noah, Carlos Boozer, Luol Deng teams and everything. I miss when Nate Robinson and Kirk Heinrich were here, Marco Bellinelli, dudes like that, Ronnie Brewer, CJ Watson, dudes that just really gave a shit to be out there. That just doesn't seem like that's what this Bulls team is, and that makes me sad. Low-key, one of my favorite Bulls players over the past couple of years was Javonte Green, and they got rid of his ass. I loved Javonte Green. But don't get me wrong, like, I don't hate any of these players. It's just like, you knew from the start this group didn't work, and it hasn't. Lonzo Ball is maybe going to play basketball again at some point. That's a whole nother thing. It's just sad, man. It's sad to be a Bulls fan, but I don't know. I don't know where you go from this. Like, I guess we just let Kobe White continue to cook. Maybe you can trade him too in the offseason because, like, again, are we building around Kobe White? Is that really the solution? Like, I promise y'all, he's not like a good playmaker, decision maker still. Like, I know the turnovers are like better than normal, but he still just turns the ball over all the time. He's just not the brightest basketball player. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sad. I'm just sad. I just want the Bulls to be going in a direction again, but the owners suck and they're not going to let us do anything and they're not going to ever try to win anymore, and it just sucks to be a Bulls fan. I'm a Bulls fan, I'm a Bears fan. They're basically the same damn franchise. They don't do anything productive ever. They never try to help good players when they have them. They just let them sit until they leave, and they make these spiels like, oh, well, we're the Chicago Bulls or we're the Chicago Bears. We're historic franchises that you should want to play for and everything, and we shouldn't have to pay you too much to do that. You should be honored to play here. And they're like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't want to live in Chicago or whatever. Like, it's cold as shit there. And Chicago's a great city, not a great city for young people though. It's very artsy and classy and everything. It's not fun and shiny or anything like that. So, you know what? It's whatever. It's not whatever. I'm sad. I'm just sad. The end of that kind of diverged from an actual basketball analysis of this. Like, the basketball analysis of this is obviously guys like Dosunmu get more minutes now. DeRozan's going to be playing the 3 most likely. Like, you'll still have Patrick Williams, Vucevic at the 5, right? And Kobe White's going to get to take as many shots as he wants now the rest of the year. So good for Kobe. Maybe Caruso starts at the 2 or something. I don't know. But anyway, I hope they find a way to make a trade at the deadline. You know, the Bulls have made the least amount of trades like since like 2019 or 2020 or something like that in the entire league. And like one of the trades that we made was like to get like a second round pick that turned into Julian Phillips. I don't even really like Julian Phillips. Like, I don't mean that as a person, but just like as a player. Like, he can jump really high. That's cool. But anyway, it's a whole thing. I'm sad. Bulls are going nowhere for the next like 3 to 4 years. We're in a bad spot. We're like the Wizards. We have no future. So Sorry, there's no positive outlook on this. Let's hope they try and make a trade soon, y'all.